For almost a year, Megan Thee Stallion told the world she had finally found the one. She called Klay Thompson her safe place, her comfort, the man she believed was meant to love her right. And then, on a quiet Saturday morning in April, everything changed. 5 short sentences. That's all it took to end a relationship she had been building in public. But what she revealed at 31 wasn't just a breakup. It was something much heavier. Something darker. And it makes you wonder, what really happened behind closed doors? That night was supposed to be normal. Another performance at the Al Hirschfeld Theatre in New York, where she had been starring in Moulin Rouge. The musical. The shows had been going well. The crowds loved her. Everything looked perfect from the outside. But that morning, she sat down, picked up her phone, and decided she wasn't going to stay quiet anymore. She wrote that he had cheated. That he had brought her around his family like everything was real. That he had suddenly started questioning their future. And then came the line that hit the hardest. He didn't even know if he could be monogamous anymore. So what does it mean when someone you love starts questioning the very foundation of your relationship? Within minutes, her team backed it up with an official statement. She made it clear: trust, loyalty, respect.
Non negotiable.
Once those are broken, there's nothing left to build on. And just like that, it was over. No long interviews. No drawn-out drama. Just truth, and silence from his side. But here's the part that doesn't make sense at first. How do you drop news like that and still walk onto a stage that same night? Because she did. Thousands of people were waiting. The show had to go on. So she put on her costume, stepped under those lights, and performed like nothing had happened. Every line. Every movement. Controlled. Professional. Unshaken. Until the very end. When the curtain call came and the crowd started chanting her name, something broke. Just for a second. And that moment said more than any statement ever could. But why did that single moment hit people so deeply? Because it was real. When she turned away from the audience, trying to hide her tears, the dancers behind her saw everything. They didn't interrupt. They didn't stare. They just nodded, quietly letting her know she wasn't alone. And then she pulled herself together, turned back around, and took her final bow. Phones were already recording. Within hours, that clip was everywhere. Even people who had never followed her before suddenly felt connected to her pain. But what made her reaction so different from every other celebrity breakup? She didn't disappear. She didn't drag it out. She told the truth, and kept going. That's what caught everyone off guard. But hidden in her message was something even more unsettling. That one line about him not being sure he could be monogamous. That wasn't just about cheating once. That was about a mindset. A shift. And it raises a bigger question. Was this relationship ever what she thought it was? Then things got messy online. Fans started searching for answers. Within a day, rumors started spreading about another woman. One name kept coming up: Lexi Brown. Screenshots, anonymous posts, speculation everywhere. It could have spiraled out of control. But Lexi stepped in herself. She shut it down directly. Said none of it was true.
No involvement.
Focused on her career. And just like that, one part of the story closed. But the bigger mystery stayed open. If it wasn't her, then who was it? Meanwhile, Dallas Mavericks unintentionally made things worse. A social media post featuring Klay went up that same weekend. The comments? Brutal. Fans flooded it with criticism, jokes, accusations. His silence only made it louder. And that silence makes you wonder, was there something he didn't want to say? To really understand how things fell apart, you have to go back to how it started. It wasn't a big announcement. It was subtle. A few photos. A comment. A hint. Fans connected the dots before either of them confirmed anything. Then suddenly, they were everywhere together. Red carpets. Interviews. Smiling like everything was solid. Megan even said it was her first relationship with someone genuinely kind. So how does something that starts that strong unravel so quickly? At first, it didn't. It actually looked perfect. Holidays with his family. Cooking for them. Laughing together. Even his father, Michael Thompson, praised her publicly. Then came the small details that felt big. He named his boat after her. She planned elaborate surprises for him. For his birthday, she flew out Bone Thugs and Harmony, his favorite group, to perform live. He called it the best birthday of his life. Everything pointed toward something serious. Something lasting. So where did it start to shift? It happened quietly. During the basketball season. Klay had just joined a new team. The pressure was intense. Expectations were high. But his performance dropped. The numbers weren't the same. The criticism got louder. Public. Relentless. At one point, even former players blamed Megan for his struggles. It was harsh. Disrespectful. And to his credit, he defended her publicly. Strongly. But behind the scenes, according to her, things weren't as supportive as they looked. And that's where the story takes a darker turn. What was happening when the cameras were off? Because while he was struggling on the court, she was holding things together at home. Supporting him. Standing by him. Carrying weight no one else could see. And eventually, it caught up to her. In late March, during a performance, her body gave out. She got sick on stage. Couldn't continue. Had to be rushed to the hospital. Doctors said it was exhaustion. Dehydration. Her body shutting down after being pushed too far. But was it just physical exhaustion? Or something more? She later called it a wake-up call. Said she had been running on empty for too long. And here's where the timeline matters. That hospital visit happened on April 1st. The breakup post came on April 25th. 24 days. That's how long she had to sit with everything. To think. To connect the dots. And maybe, to finally admit what she had been trying to ignore. Because sometimes your body reacts before your mind is ready to accept the truth. And when that happens, what do you do? 2 days after ending things, she made another decision. She announced she was leaving Moulin Rouge, the musical, earlier than planned. Officially, it was for rest, recovery. But reading between the lines, it felt like more than that. Like she couldn't keep stepping onto that stage pretending everything was okay when it clearly wasn't. And that brings us back to the beginning. The image she showed the world. The love she believed in. The future she thought she was building. All of it. Gone in 5 sentences. But maybe the real story isn't about how it ended. Maybe it's about how long she held on before she finally let go. So the question is, did she handle it the right way? Or would you have done something differently?